Deep within the savage and brutal world of Slaine, a world steeped in Celtic mythology and drenched in the blood of endless battles, there exists a horror that chills even the fiercest warriors to their core. They are the half-dead warriors, souls neither truly alive nor entirely dead, bound to the cruel existence by the dark arts of the Drunes. And today, we are painting them on the channel, so hopefully you're going to enjoy this one. I really enjoyed painting these models, so I feel we're in for a good treat. As always, I did a black prime, very heavy light coloured overcoat. For this case, I did the rack of flesh. And yeah, we're going to zip through some speed paints as I normally do. I'll list them below, but I don't like talking about my painting, so we're going to read about the actual characters themselves. The half-dead are no ordinary soldiers. They are twisted creations of the Drune Lords, unholy beings who wield a perverse power over life and death. These warriors are raised from the corpses of fallen, stitched back together with vile magics and reanimated to serve as the ultimate shock troop. In battle they are a terrifying force, relentless and immune to pain, driven by a single purpose: destruction. But what makes the half-dead so horrifying isn't their gruesome appearance or their undead resilience. It's the knowledge that these creatures were once humans, warriors who lived, loved, and fought for honour. Now they are stripped of their humanity, reduced to puppets in the hands of their Drune masters. Each half-dead warrior tells a story of suffering. Their flesh is pale and rotting, their bodies a patchwork of scars and decayed tissue. The magic that animates them overrides all sense of identity, leaving behind only a hollow shell. Yet, there are whispers that fragments of their former selves remain, trapped within their undead forms, screaming silently as they are forced to carry out the will of the Drunes. It is no wonder that Slaine himself despises the half-dead and the Drunes who create them. To Slaine, they represent everything vile and unnatural in the world. For a man who channels the primal powers of the earth through his warp spasms, the half-dead are a grotesque corruption of life itself. Yet Slaine recognises the tragic irony of the half-dead. In many ways they mirror his own transformations. During his warp spasm, Slaine becomes a creature of rage and destruction, a beast barely held in check by his human will. The half-dead, however, have no such will. They are utterly enslaved, their monstrous forms a constant state rather than a temporary fury. The process of creating the half-dead is as gruesome as the warriors themselves. The Drunes gather corpses of fallen, often targeting the strongest warriors, and perform blasphemous rites to reanimate them. The result is a horrifying blend of necromancy and dark magic, a perversion of nature that mocks the gods themselves. But even in this twisted existence, there are rare moments of tragedy. Legends tell of half-dead warriors hesitating on battlefields, as if some part of their former humanity briefly flickers to life. In those fleeting moments they seem to remember who they once were, a husband, a father, a friend, only for that memory to be snuffed out as the Drunes reassert their control. For Slaine, the half-dead are not merely enemies to be defeated. They are a reminder of the cost of war, of the darkness that lurks within. Every time he faces them, he is forced to confront his own choices and the delicate balance between the hero and the monster. The half-dead warriors stand as one of the most haunting creations in the world of Slaine. They are testaments to the Drune's cruelty and horrors that can emerge when life and death are twisted beyond recognition. In their tortured forms, they embody the eternal struggle between corruption and honour, darkness and light, a grim reminder that even in victory the scars of war can run deep. It's also worth remembering that these are heroes that Slaine has met on his adventures for the most part, and it gets brought up quite a lot during the comic that he recognises the faces of those fallen and sent against him, which I feel is really heartbreaking, and you can understand why Slaine hates them even more, and obviously the Drunes that control them. In game, I think they do a good representation of them. So they are a type of troop. Their role is sword fodder, which is a great title. Basically means they're there to get killed by the heroes, but you get a lot of them. So a group of 6, which is what I'm currently painting, only costs 13 points, which is pretty cheap. They got move 4, shoot 0, fight 1, evade 0, defense 4, which is pretty high. They're armed with claws, broken weapons with a range of 0 to 1, power modifier 0, nothing special. It's when you get to the skills and boons section of their card that things get real interesting. So they have feel no pain, which basically means they don't take any losses to their resist stat unless it's a full-on injury marker. So pins and things like that don't really affect them, and they don't give ground. So there's no choice. They cannot avoid injuries. They will have to take a hit if they get hit and injured, which makes sense because they are zombies basically. They also have the mindless rule, so they don't have their own action chips. Now in the game, every model unit puts an action chip in the bag, like Bolt Action, like Judge Dredd, or the classic Warlord games. These guys don't have an action chip. If you want to move them or do anything with them, one of your other characters has to sacrifice their chip in order to basically control the group. I really like that. This has two effects. You could either place them somewhere and they will just sit there for the entire game. Quite good for holding an objective or blocking a route. Maybe there's a swamp feature and you want to just stand them in it. They'll gain some defense for being in the terrain, and it will just put people off trying to go that way down the board. But if you decide you want to move them, you're going to have to forfeit something else moving that turn. Then they have Battle Ready. Once again, another great skill. It basically is Overwatch for them. Gives them Overwatch. If somebody comes running in, charging, or comes close enough to them, they will attack as if they were ready to fight. That's a great rule. It's basically that once again, they can sit there and do nothing, but if something's silly enough to come after them, they fight back. And then obviously they come in groups of 6, which is great. That's the maximum size they can be. So this is one complete set. I really like the models. I've really enjoyed painting these. I think I want to get more of them. If I do get more, I would just change the blue. I'd paint them pretty much exactly the same. I know that's not super exciting, but if I just then paint the red instead of blue, or purple instead of the blue, you get the idea. It will just show off which units are which, and it'd be quite fun to have a giant army of these and then a ton of cheap characters maybe that just hide at the back of the board and use their action chips to move the units forward. I assume that's what you're meant to do, like have a cheap Dream Lord or something along those lines. Or if you have some skull swords that you're not going to move that turn, you can move these guys instead. But yeah, as you can see, we are now on the bases. We're pretty much there. I had so much fun painting these models. I rarely batch paint. I've only done it, twice in the last 12 months. First time was a big old unit of termagants for 40k. Did not enjoy that. This I enjoyed. A unit of 6 is the right amount. It's the perfect size. I'm not going to argue about that. So we are going to take some glamour shots and all that crap, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in another video again soon. As always, I appreciate you spending your time to watch this. Time is important, especially on YouTube. So make sure you drop a comment, say hi at the very least. Once I hit 2,000 followers, I'm going to do a little giveaway, which should be fun. So I hope to see you again soon. As always, cheers for watching. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then go watch this one up here. Give it a click. Bye-bye.